Today we're looking at the book of Joshua. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." God is with us, even in these difficult times. It seems with fires, floods, social unrest, riots, people losing jobs, this international pandemic with COVID-19, so much pain and challenge around the world. But God is with us, and that's what we have to remember. And that first part of that verse says, "Be strong and courageous." As Christians, we need to be ready to stand up and share the word of the Lord. We need to be ready to stand up and share God's love and his comfort. Matthew tells us, "Blessed is the peacemaker." We need to be the peacemakers at this time of so much unrest. I'm a pretty emotional person, and sometimes my emotions get the best of me, which frustrates me, I must be honest. But I know that emotion also drives me to do certain things. Many years ago now, when I was a young man in England, I decided to do something called the Cornish Coast Path down in Cornwall in England. And it's about 200 miles, and it was going to take me a few weeks to do it. And I wanted to do that to practice before I came to the USA on a big trip by myself. I'd never done any trips by myself. So I did that trip. Many nights in my little tent, I was pretty scared, terrified, and lonely. But we're told right here, do not be terrified, because God is with us. So I remembered, and I carried on that trip. Then the following year, 1987 now, a long time ago, I came to the USA. That was my first time. I went to Gatwick Airport. I was sitting there getting on a plane for my first time. I was 22 years old. I flew to New York. My plan was to travel around America and to go work at the Salvation Army camp in Portland, Oregon. And I was really scared. I landed there in New York, spent a night in a hotel, then went to the very scary, some of you may have been there, the massive bus station in New York. It's about 10 stories, and it's a scary place, especially for somebody like me that had never travelled so far before. I got on my bus, and then off I went to travel to the west coast, to Oregon. But I was pretty scared. But it reminded me of this verse, that God is with us. "I have not commanded you, be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." So think of that in these days ahead. Wherever you are, at home or work at school, trying to do online classes, if your parents trying to help your kids do their homework, if you're at work, maybe you've lost your job. Maybe in these fires, sadly, you've maybe even lost your home. I just pray for you today that you would know God's presence with you, that God is always with you. God bless you.
Before you set the edge of time, foundations of the earth and sky, you saw it all and said that it was good. The joy was set before your eyes. You knew that you would give your life. You saw it all and said that it was good. Behold, behold, the one I love has come. Behold, Be